JD here, and as I mentioned in Monday's video, the weather for the past week has not been good enough to go out and fly in. So I thought I would do something a little bit different, try and see if we can do something a bit more fun. So what I thought would be a good idea was I looked back through all of the nanocopters that we've looked at in the recent months and years, and I picked out 5 of my favourite. And what I thought would be a good idea is to take them indoors, as it occurred to me that we generally fly these outdoors, but yet these are also made for indoor copters, and they are great indoor copters. We look at 5 indoor quadcopters, some good old favourites and some newer ones as well, and try and see if we can see exactly how well they do fly. So with this, let's get to the mat. Alright, so here we are. So starting off in the bottom left, we have the Eachine E59. Then we have the Hasakee H1. Then we have the Syma X21, we have the Hubsan H107L, we have the JJRC H20, and just in case some of these don't work, we have the Eachine E010. Now there are 1 or 2 of these that are getting on a little bit, hence why I've brought in this little geezer over here, just to be on the safe side and just to ensure that we can actually get the 5 that I originally said up and flying. So there we are. Right, and I think we're going to start off with the Eachine E59 first. From an outdoor perspective, this was probably my most favourite one out of all of these quadcopters, so I'm really excited to see exactly how this is going to fly indoors. Then what we'll do is we'll work our way across. So then Hasakee, the Syma, the Hubsan, the JJRC, and then the Eachine if anything doesn't work. Alright. Right then, so unfortunately I've got to have my big light on when I do this. There are going to be a few shadows unfortunately, so I am sorry about that. So right then, let's turn it on. 1 single open and close of the throttle just to bind like standard. Once it is bound, you'll see that all the LEDs are solid on the transmitter and on the quadcopter as well. See if I can remember how to... there we go. Just to ensure that the gyro is calibrated just for this flight as it is indoors. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this up. So without further ado, let's do just that. I do think this is one that's probably best suited for outdoors. Even though it is a little indoor copter, you need a lot more room than what I've currently got. So it might not be as good for flying indoors, but I tell you what, he is still a lot of fun. Come on fella, up you come. But certainly I do think it needs a little bit more room in order to fly about. But still, I really still like him. He's most certainly one of my most favourite ones for being outside, because he is just so much fun and he flies around without any issue. He flips as well without any issue. He is just overall a very nice little copter. Okay, let's turn around a little bit, let's bring him back to me, and then let's take up the next one, the Hasakee H1. Now this didn't impress me at all when we took her out, but hopefully she is going to be a lot better indoors. So let's just single 1 up and 1 down to bind. Solid LEDs on transmitter and on the quadcopter. Okay, there you are. So let's just calibrate these gyros again. And then what we're going to do is start the motors and then use the 1 button takeoff then to take her up. Oh ho ho! Hello! This thing has properly come into itself. Amazing! Look at it! God, it's so loud though. But I tell you what, indoors, look at him fly! Well, I never would have said that would have been good. When we were outside, we had nothing but hassle. It kept on pulling to the right. I had to recalibrate its gyro about 3 different times. But indoors, look at him! I'm solid. Don't talk. Look at this. If I bring him down a little bit, look at that. Look how solid he is. Oh, still dropping in altitude ever so slightly. Then again, that's just to do with the barometer. That's a pretty standard thing. Oh, I'm liking you. You've taken me by surprise, Mr. Hasakee. You really have taken me by surprise. Wow, the amount of air that's being generated underneath those motors as well is quite extraordinary. Look at it go, and it's just so solid. Such a solid little copter. Oh wow, I feel really bad now for saying that it wasn't any good outside. Well, maybe it wasn't any good outside. You know, at the end of the day, I I pride myself on honest reviews, and it wasn't great outside. But indoors, good God, look at it. But I will say one thing, massive negative side. Oh, it's so loud. It's echoing around here. Okay, the Syma X21. Now, the Syma X20 is my all-time favourite X-family copter. Whether it is nano or larger, it really is superb. The X21, I haven't given a lot of time to this because of how bad he flew outside. So I thought we'd give him a bit of time inside, and hopefully this is going to surprise me like the Hasakee just surprised me. So let's just calibrate these gyros again. Perfect. Now with this, we'll use one key takeoff, and we'll take them up. So off we go. Okay, so we're up. We're at an altitude. He's sinking a little bit. Okay, let's take him up. Let's just fly him around a little bit. I'm going to feather in this throttle a little bit because he's not really happy with the altitude. He seems to be feathering a little bit, so let's just try again now. Let's just take him up a little bit higher. Yeah, he is floating a little bit. Oh, actually, he seems to have sort of found his level. Okay, this is a lot better. I mean, if you remember, we took him out in about a 2 or 3 mile an hour wind and he was gutless. Every time I pushed forward, he didn't really want to cut through the breeze, but rather than was held in place by the breeze. But this now is, again, no environmental factors inside the house. But he's good. I like him. He's not powerful enough for outdoors, I don't think, but indoors, look at him go. Banking around left and right without any issues. Little bit of altitude there, a little bit too much. Oh, I like him. And he's not too loud either. He's not screamingly loud like the Hasakee was. Hubsan. So we're going to just plug in the Hubsan. As soon as you plug him in, he turns himself on. My God, that is so bright. Let's just move these propellers a little bit over the LEDs because I can't hardly see. Right, okay. Ooh, automatic bound. Doesn't look as if there's a gyro to calibrate. I might be wrong. Let's try this again. Certainly isn't calibrating if there is one. Okay, fine. With this, we'll take him up as he is and we'll see exactly how he flies. Just standard. Okay, this guy does just want to go. I do get the feeling that he does just want to fly off. But, oh, he's very quick. Very sprightly. Probably need a much bigger place to control this guy rather than just this little room. Oh, this guy just wants to fly, and he wants to fly quick. Yeah, this guy is pretty good. He's definitely not one of the best though. I'm really quite shocked. I remember when I flew this guy outside. I thought he was a lot better. Maybe it's okay, let's substitute the JJRC H20 for this. This is the Eachine E010. Okay, single one up and one down to bind. There we are, gyro's calibrated. So with that, let's take her up. Those air duct type propeller guards really funnel the air as well. And they are so much fun to fly, these guys. They just rip around the place. Even in speed mode 1 like this guy now. You can either hold him at an altitude and then just take him around, or you can just go absolutely like a bat out of hell, and this guy just loves it. Yeah, he's fast, he's flighty, just wants to go. That's the thing, you just got to keep him within whereabouts wherever you're flying. Keep him as close as you can to you. Oh, he's just good fun though. Solid indoor fun off this guy, and outdoor. When I first tested this guy, it was outdoor only. Really happy with this guy. Look at him go though. Excellent addition to this list. Yeah, no problem. And battery life as well is pretty extraordinary in this guy when you consider, but you know, he's extremely light. He's got good efficient motors. All in all, I'm really happy with this guy as well. Alright, let's bring him down. Wow, well, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the Hasakee to be so good, that little Bee quadcopter. I thought, because outside, obviously, a little bit light. We had a bit of a breeze there at the time. He pulled to the right quite a bit. I had to bring him down and recalibrate his gyro a few times. Indoors, though, perfect. So good, so loud, but flies incredibly well, and is really easy to control as well. Now, I'd say the second best, and I think it's definitely the Eachine E010. He was brilliant. He was very feisty though, just constantly wanted to go. But his flight, when you get him at that level, that flight is so smooth, so incredibly smooth. And then I think it's the Syma X21. The Syma was really good. Now I have a bit of an issue with that. If you take it outside, the X21 isn't powerful enough to cut through any breeze, or it will struggle. You'll burn those motors out, or at least burn the battery right the way down, and you'll rip for the battery life, like I did when I took it out there and tried a couple of months ago. Then I think the next one down from that is most certainly got to be the Eachine E59. I really enjoyed that guy. I really enjoyed him a lot. He's not great indoors though, certainly not with a room my size. If you had a bigger room perhaps, but he certainly isn't great in there. I was really shocked. I thought, this is going to be so easy to just take around, but it wasn't. It was actually a little bit tricky. Now I think a part of that was because he was really slow to turn. If you increase if you increase his speed, and obviously that will alter. Then I think it's the Hubsan. The Hubsan definitely pulls up the rear there. He was enjoyable, he was good. I did enjoy flying him around. I enjoyed flying all of them around. But I think the Hubsan was most definitely one of the worst ones there that we saw. Just didn't feel right. Made a few kind of weird noises, and just overall, I don't think he was as fun to fly as some of the others. Most certainly not. So there we are, folks. I hope you've enjoyed. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.